Another tough weekend for Tottenham Hotspur. They were beaten 2-1 at Fulham on Super Sunday. It's now 10 matches without a win in the Premier League. Their relegation fears are still very real right.
We need to find forces inside each of us. I said to the players, it's always what you're gonna do, what you want to do with yourself. You know, more personality, more wish to do before reacting. You know, plenty of things, lot of things.
Yeah, Jamie Weir's on set with us as well to talk about this. We've got R for relegation, R for referees. Tim, we'll start with referees. I know that you definitely think that first goal shouldn't have stood.
100%. 100% shouldn't have stood. I hear Rob Green on co-commentating saying it was completely different to Gabriel. He's right. There's a lot more of a push. A lot more of a push. I can understand why they have to be given.
Dragusin's actually airborne, which Gabriel wasn't, you know.
That was not a great view of it. You know, there's one view where he just slaps two hands in his back. It has to be a foul. It's just there's no other question. I mean, they could do better afterwards. I mean, Wilson's just absolutely on fire. This one, two hands in the back. You try and stand up. I think if Rob was in goal there and someone pushed him in the back, he would soon throw himself on the floor. That is an absolute diabolical decision.
And the goal stood, of course, and then Fulham went on to win the game. There's Igor Tudor, Jamie. Is he under pressure already? It's 2 defeats from 2, but there doesn't seem to be any notable improvements in the performances.
He was under pressure before a ball had been kicked in the North London derby. Yeah, this is serious for Tottenham. I mean, they are in a mess, and I'm not sure they've got the personalities and the characters to dig themselves out of it. And you know, the performance yesterday was poor. Fulham completely outplayed them from start to finish. There was more heart, more hunger, more desire. They looked more organised, more cohesive. Spurs are just... There's 3 big problems, I think, and the worrying thing for Igor Tudor is 2 of them that he can't fix. One is the injury situation. Yet another player out injured yesterday, Jed Spence. That injury list just doesn't show any signs of getting better. Nothing he can do about that. 2 is just that these players are bereft of confidence. And that is a difficult thing to fix. I don't know how he picks them up off the floor. And 1, the good thing for him is the one thing he can fix is there's no clear structure or style of play at Tottenham. Yeah. That is something that can be worked on the training ground, at least. And they have got a run of fixtures, in particular ones at home, which look, you know, quote unquote, winnable. So that is the one thing that will give them some hope. But they are in a dogfight now. And a lot of I look at the teams down there, Forest, West Ham, Leeds, they look like they're putting in battling performances week in, week out. Tottenham don't. Tottenham look like they're rolling over.
Well, the question of do they have the characters in the dressing room, do you agree that they don't?
Well, it's not evident at the moment. You know, you have to say, we're looking around, scratching their heads, trying to find them.
Well, Jamie says, not sure if Igor Tudor can do anything about them being bereft of confidence. What can a manager do to try to instill something in them, some belief?
Well, first and foremost, is to play them in the correct positions. You know, there's no point playing square pegs in round holes like he did yesterday. I mean, it was a great cross from Archie Gray there. And you ask that boy to play anywhere, he'll give you his best.
Yeah.
100% that's what he would do. It was a fantastic cross and a wonderful header from Richarlison. And I was really pleased that Richarlison come on with the correct attitude.
He's one character I think does have some fight.
I would have him all day long. I'd have him. Paulinho, I would have him. You know, they've got their limitations playing wise, but you'd have them in, and you need to find them. You need to come through, and you need to find the players who are going to actually perform and actually be brave enough to go and receive the ball. I don't agree with the injuries situation, and I say that I do against the Arsenals, I do against the Chelseas and the Man Cities and the Liverpools, not against Fulhams. I'm not having that, because if you at the beginning of the season we would have signed any of them Fulham players, all the Tottenham fans would have turned their nose up against the players what they've already got. But now they've had a look at our players and they're thinking, oh, I don't know now, maybe we'll have a Iwobi, maybe we'll have Smith-Rowe, 2 ex-Arsenal players. Yeah. And not only them, you could keep going. Harry Wilson. There's loads of them who are better than them now, but that's in hindsight, having seen them play. We talked about how Michael Carrick has changed the fortunes around. We hope someone goes in like Igor Tudor and all of a sudden some players are unrecognisable. What Conor Gallagher? Conor Gallagher must be thinking, why have I come here to play right wing? And the Tottenham fans must be saying, what is he doing here? Because he looks terrible. And I would stick up for Conor. I'd say, look, Conor, you're not you're not playing in the correct position. So, yes, you have previously and you haven't really done it, but persevere with him and stick him in a position where he can get into the box. He's an up and down number 8. He's not a player who plays on the right side of midfield. Why on earth did he play him on the right side of midfield? Tell come on and done all right. We say this about the Tottenham players. They come on When they're not there from the start and they're 2-0 down or whatever, they come on and do all right. They ain't good enough. Do it from the start. Get some organisation. Absolutely spot on, Jamie. There's absolutely no cohesion there. There's no build-up play. There's no patterns of play. And look, we give them a mulligan against Arsenal, but not against Fulham. Come on,
the thing you're clinging on to, the hope you're clinging on to as a Spurs fan as well, is that second half performance against Manchester City. Okay, we'd like to see that for the full 90, but that second half performance against City and the 2 performances against the 2 German teams in the Champions League recently, against Dortmund and Frankfurt, if they can play that, if they can bottle that performance and bring it out against Palace on Thursday night, bring it out against Forest a week on Sunday.
Right. Are they going to stay up? You've both done your predictions, haven't you? Okay, we'll have to race through these. So this is where, Tim, you've got Tottenham finishing on 44 points.
Yep.
And that'll be definitely enough if you think about it. You've got Forest on 14, West Ham. So that's what Jamie and Tim went through the remaining fixtures, by the way, and chose them. And Jamie, you also have...
This is, I mean, Tim and I went through this earlier. I think there's a lot of heart-reeling head, certainly for me. But I look at some of the games and look, Spurs still need to play Forest at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. West Ham have got a really tough run in. West Ham need to face Manchester City and Arsenal. Tough to see them getting anything from that. You know, Villa as well. They've got some tough fixtures, West Ham, but they're showing more fight than Spurs are. That's the thing.
Well, you two have both got Tottenham staying up. Let's see what Spurs fan Alfie Nicholson thinks. Alfie, do you think that you are going to stay up? How worried are you that you'll go down?
Yeah, I'm concerned for all those reasons given as well. The lack of fight, not winning in 10 games does feel like we've sort of forgotten how to win. You sort of look and you wonder when's the next win going to come from. But you'd like to think when we have some players coming back, I think at the end of March we've got a run of games where we should be picking up points, and we've got players like Kudus coming back and Udogie coming back and Romero coming back. These players should be coming in and stepping up straight away. And there's no reason if they come in and sort of regain the form they were having at the start of the season, we shouldn't stay up.
So have you seen no improvements yet under Tudor? Have you seen any improvements?
No, he said you sort of give Arsenal as a free hit, as bad as it is really to say that. We weren't expecting much, and that's just a sign of how far we've fallen almost. But you have to sort of discount that one. But yesterday was so poor, and I think you touched on it there, Tim. You got to go back to the basics, and you've got to run hard, fight hard, and play players in the right position, and play the right system to accommodate the players you have. There's slim pickings anyway for senior players available. Why are we playing Conor Gallagher? Yeah, in right wing. I know we had to sort of play Archie Gray at left back because our hands are tied. But
why?
We seem to.
Why?
Well,
where's Sousa? Where's Sousa? What are you paying 15 million for him for? Why you not got him out on loan playing some football? Why play him? Play him left back. You don't have to play Archie Gray there. Archie Gray needs to be in the midfield area instead of Basuma.
I guess if you really want to, but then again, I'd be more trusting of Archie Gray at left back than a 19-year-old who's hardly played much senior football and come over from Brazil.
Why?
Because he's inexperienced.
But it ain't his position. It ain't his position. I keep listening to Tottenham fans. Tottenham fans talking about injuries all the time. You're playing Fulham, mate. Fulham. You're playing Palace at the weekend, Thursday night. Can't complain about injuries now. Them players are not going to be back too late before Tottenham be sunk before them players are back. You need to change it now. That's where you need to change it.
Alfie, what happens if you don't win on Thursday at home to Palace?
Yeah, that's the one I'm worried about, really. I think if you look at the form table, Palace are sort of the ones like hovering about the relegation zone themselves. I know their actual table position doesn't reflect that, but they're the team that are almost as out of form as us. That's the one where there's no excuses for Fulham, but there certainly isn't any excuses to playing an out of sorts Palace side at home. They look disjointed and look beatable. I know they lost again yesterday. They should be the team we should be going out and attacking. But the thing that I'll be wanting to go away from now is 5 at the back. We've seen it twice in a row under Tudor. He said there's been no noticeable improvements. And yet again, we looked at the Iwobi goal. I know you're saying, Tim, that there's no excuse when there's players available who are standing around. Like, Iwobi had the position to pick up the ball and then create something and then shoot and have an open chance to shoot a goal.
Exactly, but he keeps talking about running hard. They're not fit enough. You know, I hear a lot of negatives from him now. You know, when he first went in, it was 100% guarantee we'll be in the Premier League next year. Now, not sure. There's a lot of problems. It's a